Figma is a web-based tool and you can access it by typing figma.com in Google. It is a freemium tool. It has some free plan and premium, but as a basic user you will not need any premium feature of this. So when you type figma.com in Google, you will have this kind of layout. Here you see some of my recent documents open there. These are some of my drafts, and I can create a new document from there. Design file, click on there and we see design file, or if we go to recent, and we can also create new document from there. I click on design file and here we have this screen open. Now we have to create an artboard. Figma call it frame, but in other softwares we name it artboards, but here since Figma is calling it frame, so we will also call it by frame. We can create some custom size frame by dragging our cursor or anywhere and it will create a custom size frame. Also, if we click on frame or simply press F, then we see some options right over there. This is some standard screen sizes that Figma has provided. It's of iPhone 11 Pro Max, iPhone 11 Pro X, iPhone 8 Plus. It's for tablet, it's for desktop. I will click on this desktop. I can delete any frame by selecting this and pressing the delete button. Now this is the desktop frame. We use it by creating some web pages, and this is a standard size when a website is open on a desktop. Now if I click on the rectangle next to frame, I can draw rectangle anywhere. You can see these are some of the options. You can simply drag it and it will convert into a rounded shape, then corner rounded. You can also adjust it from there. Select this and simply increase its size, and as you can see the corners are a little bit rounded, but we will set it to 0. Okay, the next option is we have this fill. We can change any color we want right over from there. If we click this, we will change it red, and here we can change it opacity. What is opacity? Opacity is the percentage of an object, of a selected object, at how much it is visible. For now it is 100%. If I drag it over there, it is 0%. And this right here is the hexadecimal color code. Each color has its own hexadecimal code, and the color which has selected is this code. The color code for each color is given on the internet. Here we found some new option. As you can see, this is solid. This is a solid color. We can create some linear gradient from there. If I select this, you can see this is selected. Now its opacity is 0. I will set it to 100 and black. If I click there, it will add another color. Here you notice one thing. If I add something over there, this generates a color very close to this. Why? Because Figma want to create the gradient as smooth as possible. If I generate color right over there, this generates a color very close to this one, and as you can see the gradient is very smooth. Now you can convert this gradient to radial also. This is a radial gradient, and angular. This is some of angular gradient. You can select any color and change its value, its opacity, or its hue, or anything. You can select any color by clicking on this I button and select it from the artboard or frame. Okay, so the next thing we have is stroke. Stroke is the boundary of any shape. As you can see, if I zoom in and if I increase its value by dragging it to the right, you can see it's increasing inside. If I increase it further, you can see it's increasing further from there. Because this is here, it is inside. If I do it outside, then this is outside, and if I increase it to right, this is further increasing toward outside, and of course towards center it will increase from both sides equally. I can drag this value to right to increase and drag it to left to decrease it. I can hide this from there, or I can simply delete this. Now here is a more option, effect. If I click on it, then you may see drop shadow. you can see the drop shadow just below this rectangle. I can change the properties of this drop shadow, like how much blur I want, drag it to right to increase the blur, and as you can see it is further blur but we hardly see it, so I will decrease it to 4. And how you want its position to be adjusted. For example, right now we can see this from there and it is not present over there toward the right side of our shape. If I select our X position, X is always for horizontal, for example 4, 0, 4, then you can see this also here and also here. If I set it to 0, then it will be vanished from this side. Okay, here is option how much spread you want, like how much this should be spreaded. You can adjust it also you can change its color, or you can change its opacity, but always keep your shadow opacity to less than 50%. The next option we have, I will delete this one and this one also. I will click on this our shape again and fill it with some color. Okay, so if we select it, and here is our option export. In export you can export the selected object or export the entire frame. You can export it in PNG, JPG, SVG, PDF. SVG is vector and PDF is also a vector format. You just click over there export rectangle and it will be exported. You can export the entire document, entire frame, or anything from this export option. This, as you can see, now export desktop 1, because we have selected this desktop 1. If I rename it from there, screen 1, and now here you can see this is calling export screen 1, so this will export this whole screen. Okay, so this panel is our layers panel. As you can see, this is our layers and this is the assets panel. I will teach you later about assets panel. For now we will focus on layers. If I create something ellipse from there, and further I want to star right over there, and if I select the star and change its color to red, so as you can see our star is above the ellipse. If I drag it down, then the star goes down. Again I will move it to upward, and you can see you can lock it, it will not further move. You can hide it, it will not be visible but it will be there. You can unhide it, you can unlock it. Okay, you can select these two and press Ctrl G and it will create a group. Right click on this, click on this arrow and it will show both of these objects. Okay, so our next tool is pen tool. Pen tool is very simple. It's just click, 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 and this is your shape. You can fill this shape, double click or any point, and this will select this, and you can change its color. Sorry, this is changing stroke color. You can add fill by adding right over there and change any color. There is something more about pen tool. If I click there, click and drag, these two are called the handles, and now this time this is not a corner, this is a round edge. If I click there, then again drag it, and drag it, and if I click there and this, you can see these are some rounded edges, rounded edges. Okay, so if I go to our move tool by pressing V and then click on any point, you can see these both handles. You can adjust its position, adjust the weightage, as if you press Alt key, and you can see you can move single handle and it will not affect our other handle. Okay, if you go to pen tool and again if you press Alt, click on any point, and this will delete our anchor point. When you press done, then this shape is there. You can change its fill, you can change its whatever you want. Okay, the next thing we have is our text tool. If I click on text tool and type something, and if I select this, and we can increase its size by, if I click 48, as you can see this is 48, and sorry, let me change its spelling, something. We can change its font from there. It's Roboto. There are many other fonts, and good thing is you don't need to install it like in other softwares. There are most of the fonts installed already over there. I will use Mirza font, and you can change its color also from there. You can make it regular, medium, bold. You can do other things with this text as I did on a rectangle before, like you can add stroke over to it by clicking on this plus icon and change its color. And if I hide the fill, you can see the stroke is there. I can apply the same effects that I applied on rectangular shape on text also. Also, you can export the single piece of text by pressing this export button. I will make its fill visible and hide its stroke. It's not looking good, and also delete this its effects. And you can see many options there, like text align. This will align it to center, and this will align into left. This is useful when you are creating a paragraph or something like this. You can see it's left aligned. If I click on there is space left, but this is aligned toward left because I have selected this one. Now if I click on align center, this will align this to center. Now these are the options. This is useful in setting the horizontal alignment, and this is for vertical. This is aligned upward, and this will align it to mid. If I increase, and if I, as you can see, this is below, this is on middle, and this is on top. Now a great option is this auto width and auto height. If I select this option auto width, and if I type anything, something is going to happen. You might have noticed that this shape, the area, is increasing toward as we write the text. Now if I copy it by pressing alt and drag it, it will copy it. Now if I cut it, backspace, and set it to auto height. Now if I type something is going to happen. Now I think it should be crystal clear. It is setting its auto height, and it is setting its auto width. It set its width if I write further text, and it sets its height if I write further text. Okay, the next tool we have is our comment option. We can add comment like this. Add a comment. It's good. Post it. Now when we share it with someone, this will be visible to them. They can comment on your design whether it's good. Your client can share your feedback exactly where he wants some changes, or he like your design, or unfortunately he doesn't like it. Here you can also give him reply okay, or here if you check this three dot, you can delete this comment if it's yours. Okay, the next option, and it is very important in Figma, and you might see it in many other UI designing tool, and this is component. If I select, if this is our rectangle, and if I make it a component, you can see in our layer panel, this icon, this has changed into a component. This is the symbol of component. Now if I copy it, press Ctrl D, it will repeat the step which we have done. Now this is your main component. Because this has this icon, these are its child components. These any changes I made to this one made to this one are applied to all of them. But where it is useful, why we use it? We use it here. You might not see any benefit of it, but if you are designing and you have designed over 20 or 30 screens and you have submit this to client and client want changes anywhere, and if these changes are on your all 20 screens, then you can't change every 20 screens. You can, but this will be very tedious job. But Figma has made it easy for you. You make a component and you the shortcut for component is Control Alt K, and copy it. I'm pressing Alt and drag, and client asks you to change this one. He wants to change the color of it. So what we will do, we will change the color of this main component, and you want some red there, so your red will appear in all the components that you made from it. So this is the benefit of component. I will make some advanced video about components. Okay, the next tool we have this mask tool. So how this works, I will delete this rectangle, I select this and I will draw another shape. I will draw this, change its color to anything, and if I select mask by selecting this and mask, now this is masked out. But what is happening? Keep in mind that in Figma, mask always apply upward. What this means? This means that if I move our ellipse down, then this will mask down this area of our rectangle. If I move our mask right there, only the ellipse area of our rectangle is visible. If I select rectangle and increase its size, you can see only this area is visible. If I change the color of our, keep in mind our rectangle is selected, not ellipse. And now when we change the color of our rectangle, this will change the color of this area because this area is masked out. Now what if you want to remove the mask? You will simply click on ellipse, right click there and click on there, use as mask, or press Ctrl Alt M. This will remove the mask, and now your ellipse is here. Now with the layer panel you might see something called assets. If you go there, this seems empty. Here you can store some components. To create a component, select a layer and click the create component, or use libraries for quick access to component from other files. What does this mean? This means that for example, you create a component out of it. You make this component, you make it component from there. This is component. Now as you can see, this component is saved in assets. When you are working on multiple screens, there are many components stored. So you can search it from there, you can access, and you can simply when click on it, your component is highlighted, so you can access it anytime you want. This option becomes more useful when you are working in a team. Like this, if you click on this book icon, and when you are working in a team, then there may be some documents, some components, some files that your client or your teammates are sharing with you, and you are working on it together. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to share with you is about this share button. If you click on it, you see some options. Here you can enter mail of your any client or friend, and you can invite them, send invite, and an invite will be sent with this link. They can click on it and access this document. Or you can simply copy this link. It will be copied on your clipboard, and here you can set its privacy. Anyone with link, only people invited to this. If you click on this, only the people that you have sent an invite will be able to access this document. If I click back and click anyone with link and copy link, and I open it in another browser, now I have opened Mozilla. So here you can see I can access this link by simply copy pasting. Okay, so here this document is open. Now if I make some changes to my original document, Now as you can see, this rectangle is right there. You can see you cannot make any changes there. There are no options because this option is to share your document with your clients. If you create an account and log into Figma, then you will be able to edit this document. If I click there on this I button, as you can see, observing enum, this is my account, the account from which I created this document, so I am observing it. Okay, so here is another tool that you must know. You select this screen and layout grid and add this. Here you might see some options. Layout grid, this is the size of each square in a grid. If I turn it to 30, you can see these are bigger now. You can change their color also. You will turn them black. Also you can set their opacity to 100%. You can see these are more visible, but 10% is fine. Now the next thing that we are going to learn is very important, and that option is auto layout. If I draw a rectangle, again we are taking too many rectangles here, and I write some text T and I press click here, and I will place it on center of it. Okay, and I will zoom in, and if I zoom in I see some dots there. I will simply drag them inside and make it a rounded corner. Now if I click both of these and press shift A, or you see an option there, auto layout. I will click on this plus icon and this has converted into an auto layout. Now how this work? First of all, leave both of these, leave this also, and click on this. As you can see, these three lines, this is our text inside. When we convert this into auto layout, our layers looks like this. This has converted into a frame one with these two signs. These two signs are the option that auto layout has been applied. Now if I click on this arrow, you can see our text is there. Now if I click on frame one and click there, and if I set it to center, you might not see any difference. But when I increase its size, you might see something. For example, if I adjust it to there and if I increase its size, you might have noticed something. Okay, let me share it with you another example. If I copy this and I delete auto layout, okay, and now if I increase the size of this rectangle, as you can see, our text is there. It's not moving, but in this case our text is moving with the rectangle by keeping its position. Okay, so how is position is maintained there? It's controlling from there. It's on the left hand side, so it's there. If we put this there, it will be maintained in center. Okay, so if I adjust it right there, you can see it's near now, here now, as you can notice. What is this? This is the padding around this text. For example, if I turn it into 100, you can see it is down now. This is the padding. I have increased padding from top side, so it has increased its distance from top side. If I convert it to 150, it is right there now. So you understand the concept. We can do the same thing right there. As you can see, this is mixed now. If you want to change the values here, you will enter, for example, if I enter 100, 50, I am adding values randomly, 30 and 70. The first value is for top, second value is for right, third value is for bottom, and fourth value is for left. It is the same padding that we see here. Now if we copy the text, I double click on there, press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V, it will copy it here. If we click on it, it is the spacing between the atoms. Now there are two atoms. Before that there was one atom, so I could not show you the difference. Now there are two atoms. If I increase the space, the spacing between them is increasing. If I drag it to left, it is decreasing. Now what this option means, this is vertical, align it vertical direction, align it horizontal direction. If I click on it, it will align them in vertical direction. Why this auto layout option is very important? This is important because when you create a website for example desktop, so desktop size has different dimensions than mobile. A website must also be created for mobile size, so we design the button in a way that when their size is small, they are automatically adjusting their size. Now the next thing that I am going to share with you is prototype. Prototype is very important. Let's see this. I will go prototype right here and I will copy this. I am holding Alt and Shift and it is going straight. And I will make copy of it. Now I will click it. You can see this dot right here. I will click it and drag it to this screen because we want to go from this screen to this one. Okay, so here is our prototype settings. On click, this will move from this screen to this. On drag, like when I will drag on over this button, this will move from this one to this one. There are also other options. You can try it by yourself. These are called some actions that when I will click, what happen, it will, there are option navigate to, open overlay, scroll to, back, close. Navigate to, we want to navigate it from this screen to this one. Screen 2 is automatically written there because we have already placed an arrow right there. Okay, so if I click on this button present, this will open a new tab. You see no difference. Why? Because these both screens are same. I change the text here, for example congrats, and again I will press on it and I will go to first screen, this, and I will click on this button. As you can see, we are on another screen. Now what if you want to back to the first screen? Simply you will drag it to this and keep the setting as it is. Again click on this one and go to click here, congrats, again click it. This is how it works. This was some of the basic setting about prototype. Of course there are a lot of other things which you can try it by yourself. There is also a panel for animation, like how you want. It was an instant animation, it will be a dissolve animation. You can see preview from there, and it is move in, move out, push animation, slide out. You can try it by yourself. And also I will make another videos about some advanced videos about prototyping and checking each navigation and how this works and customizing each animations to look the prototypes more amazing. I will make some advanced videos about the options that really needs it. There is one more setting about Figma that may help you, and that is ruler. Press Shift R and it will bring ruler there. Right, click on it and it will drag from there, from there. These may help you. And if you press Shift R again, it will hide them. Also, there are some plugins in Figma that makes it more powerful. You can access it by going to this icon and then plugins and manage plugins. Now here you can download new plugin. How? You can simply go to browse plugins in community, and there are, as you can see, plugins, fig jams, design systems, wireframes, illustrations. We want to download plugins. Simply go to plugin, just click install, back it. Now if we go back and in plugins, we can see our Unsplash plugin is already installed. Now here is a one more option that I missed. I think this is slice option. Slice option is that if you want to capture a specific portion like this and select export slice, this will export only this part of the slice. If I open it, as you can see, only slice part is captured. I have almost teach you every option in Figma that is useful for you. If you try all these options that I have teach you, it will be really a fast and easy start for you. I hope you like this video. Please press the like button and subscribe our channel. Thank you very much.